Heel erg mooi bord.
Hello, my golfing friends. Today, I'm gonna put this aside. There we go. Well, let me show you a little bit my, the things that I use for practicing. You've got a driver, driving iron, which is this one. I cannot control it for whatever. I've got a 4, I've got a 6, I've got my hybrid 5 and my hybrid 3. So, all in all, quite some clubs. I can still practice here in my little garden. Put you aside. So that's all pretty well. What isn't well? We cannot play yet. That's not well. And it is what it is, you know. I can, at least keep everything as good as I can, but I am missing the feeling if I still hit it right. So I have to record it and look at it and see like, oh, I think it's all right. But I'm really missing the ball flight because that's the best information I have. Got some other little updates, so follow me around. I'll take you along for this little video. As you have, I will release the part 3 of a series of Kagerzone, and you have noticed it's windy. You know, it's the Netherlands. It's always windy. So I've got finally a dead cat, which I really was missing, because it's too much wind, but I cannot suppress it with the. Well, you can almost suppress it a little bit with the tools that there are on audio, but that's it. So hope to use that soon, because I do not believe it will take a long while until we were playing again. And it brings me also to why are we not playing again? So please, this is recorded on the 3rd of May, and it might be a week. It might be sooner in a week. It might be another 2 weeks, or even to the 18th of May that the official government will be an update. Because in the meantime, you know, people are really getting really upset and frustrated with the fact that we are not playing again. And of course, it's not life and death. But we're here for our hobby. We're here for our release, for our peace of mind. And people are, they love the game, and just as me, I'm just loving the game and I wish I could play, but we are not allowed to do that just yet. And that not allowed is because the government has not given the okay for it just yet. And the government talks to NOC NSF, which is the National Olympic Committee, and the NSF is the Nationale Sportfederatie, so National Sports Federation. Yep. And they have bundled all sports together, regardless of the sports that you do or that you are at. So you are the same as wrestling, where you really hug each other, as golf, where you walk in a green field with really a lot of distance. And that's the frustration. Why is that not allowed? Well, the NGF, the National Golf Federation, they have made, together with Golf NL, they have got all these kind of things that they are arranging already for when we can start, and now they have brought up protocols, which was done already half April, so thereafter there were no visible other changes than some actions that they have set up to get some money in that they then can share or spread, or I'm not sure how they're going to do it, to the golfing accommodations and the golf courses, or the ones that own those places, and then of course now are losing a lot of more money instead of in comparison to the other ones. Because the NGF, they will talk to the NOC NSF, and they are for sure being sent away like, okay, we will deal with it, but as a total thing. So in fact, they are sent away. And I'm glad that they have put their efforts on other things, because those are also important, but it's not the things that brings us to a sooner date, because they don't have influence on it. And I have been in contact with the NFG myself. I've been sent an invite to Jeroen Stevens, who is the director, to ask him like, hey, would you like to do an interview? And I will post it. I've got some critical questions to you as an organization who represents the golfing sports and who also set the rules to all these other, to the courses. Like, are you allowed to play? Yes or no? And golf courses are put in the same category as sports accommodations. So does not like a park or something where people are now running and doing all kind of activities. But golf is a sports accommodation, and thus you will fall in the same category as all the other sports. Well, although he did not react, I sent a second invite as a reminder, and then I was called by Danielle Wallet, who is the marketing director of the NGF. And I had a phone call with her. And there I said like, hey, I would like to have an interview where the NGF can, bring their message and tell their story behind it, how they want to get us golfing again, because I got a lot of questions, specifically on when can we start again. And when is only because I have seen that other countries are playing, and of course you do not understand it, and this is or could have been a platform where we can also spread a little bit the message around why we are not playing here in the Netherlands. And again, the NGF, Dutch Golf Federation, talks with the NOC-NSF, which bundles everything, because the government has said, like, you be our gatekeeper for that. And if you would, for example, as a course, want to deviate from it, you will have to go to the municipalities, who then decide on that, and they will automatically say no, because they again are steered by the government. So, one way or the other, even if you would want to do, deviate a little bit, you are then not social, or how you call it, you do not show your solidarity to the other ones, and not only to the other courses, but also not to the other sports that the Golf Federation is working with to have these kind of exceptions. Question is then, why are we then still talking about this, whilst we know that the National Golf Federation can't do shit? And this is my channel, so I can say this, and it's approved. It's not for children. This, so they can't do shit. And it's not their fault. So they have put their efforts in. Okay, if we cannot manage that, let us do the other things. Like, for example, bringing some money in, and hopefully that is they bring in a lot of dough for the courses to receive. We, as players, can only enjoy it then in the long run when the golf companies and the courses can survive. And I'm really hoping they survive, because I want my shot of golf. And there were a lot of these discussions on Facebook, and I've seen a lot of debates, and I was part of some debates. And in Germany, there's of course this very interesting thing going on, where some of the municipalities are allowing it and some are not, and there were loopholes in the right system, the legal system. So it's very interesting, but I'm still not playing golf. So when everyone is working together and saying, okay, we are solidary, we have solidarity with you, then of course you bound yourself not to deviate of that what the government will decide. And I'm just hoping that they just will decide sooner to open everything up again. Difficult, and there are a lot of people who say, but there are more important things in life. But I was thinking about a few companies who really went to the drain, where there was even an increase of violence in homes. And it's not that I know from golf, so hopefully that will also stay safe. But where people are getting desperate, bills have to be paid. And if you are a company owner, you will try to find ways to manage. And I can't understand that. It's human nature to try to find a way. And if you are at the end of all those organizations who have said to each other, okay, we will be giving you our solidarity, then the ones that are at the end of the chain, they do not have a choice even. And so I'm glad that I see a lot of people, getting a little bit in the frustration lane, where it's like, I don't get it. And I think right for you, because for this individual sport, where you can have lots of distance, there is no reason why we could not play. Taking the protocols also at hand that were created for it, it can be done. It's absolutely no problem. Of course, everything on the social grand scheme, I also believe that the extra traffic that we generate can be kept to a minimum, and it can be organized quite well. However, with all of these messages to organizations, to each other, we will be solidary to your decision, then, it is only waiting almost for the go-ahead of the government, and then everything will, go very fast, and I'm hoping within a day. Yeah, so for me, I had some, back to my own golf, I had a goldie, or a birdie goal this year, and now 2 months have been taken off. Of course, I'm still a beginner, so hoping that I can, catch up a little bit. I just wanted to say to all the courses and the one who owns it and manage those, I will support you by paying my grievy. And if anyone wants to invite me for, please pay your money here, because we need it, then I'm very happy to oblige, because I miss my game at the moment very much. So, this being said, is it golf related? I was very doubtful in doing this video. I'm still doubtful after I've recorded this if I will do an upload of it, because I want to have the metal guys together with the golf, and I'm already a niche, a little bit different than most. And I noticed that also in the discussions where I consider myself a little bit more liberal, and do not mistake being liberal with not being solidary to everyone who is trying to make up the rules and do the best they can. Because also in my talks, also the NGF, they will do for sure the best they can. But when they have bound themselves to different organizations, and the NSF and NOC, they will of course determine things who will be sent out to the Olympic Games, and then of course you've got the competitions. So everything is linked together. Whenever one says something, they will all, okay, well, let's live with it. But that indeed does not give a lot of room for exceptions, because in fact there are none. Pitch and putt is possible, so I'm going to look if there's no update on Monday, because we are below 700, which was a border for people who would be on intensive care, I believe. I'm going to look for a pitch and putt, or and maybe see other ways of still trying it, because I'm allowed to do that. I can put an effort in trying to still I miss my game. How can I still somehow play my game? And of course, the net and the mat and practicing is only part of the game. It is not the same with seeing your ball fly through the air, making its way up in the sky, going down, and in my case, probably in the water or whatever. But then enjoy my successes or failures of every hit in a real way instead of after 2 meters seeing it go in a net. Because I'm done with so much net, I'm done with the net. I want to say to everyone, keep it up, keep the discussions also up. People who forget that these discussions are on a golf-related channels or golf-related groups, please do not start over the big picture, because for golf it is a valid point like, why don't we get an exception? Leaving to say, love out, stay metal.